My beloved child, there are seasons I let you sow in silence. And there are also seasons I let you see the green shoots sprouting from the very places you once thought were only dry ground. Do not be surprised when, in this season, I bring back before your eyes the evidence of your past obedience. A word you once spoke in love has now become a lamp in someone's heart. A small act you did unseen has now turned into encouragement for a weary soul. A work you began in humility, without fanfare, without glory, is now beginning to bear fruit beyond what you ever imagined. I let you see this, not so you may exalt yourself, but so you may know that in my kingdom, no faithfulness is ever forgotten. My word is spoken. Let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You have sown in tears, and I want you to know that those tears did not fall to the ground in vain. They watered the seeds that my hands are growing in their due season. But my child, when the harvest begins to appear, keep your heart in holy humility. The achievement is a gift, but it is not a throne for you to sit idle upon. The fruit is a confirmation, but it is not the end of the journey. Some people, upon seeing a little result, pitch their tents on the old mountaintop, but I am calling you to keep walking. For before you lie other fields, other souls, other doors, and other lands waiting for the light. I began a good work in you, and as it is written, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Therefore, do not fall asleep on what is past, nor view yesterday's success as a guarantee to stop listening today. Every day still requires new manna. Every step still needs new guidance. And every season still demands a heart awake to my voice. I want you to understand that the deepest peace does not come from all outward circumstances being favorable, but from the realization that you are in the flow of my will. Sometimes there is still much turmoil on the outside, yet inside you are not swept away. Sometimes the door before you has not fully opened, yet your heart remains at rest knowing I hold the key. Sometimes others do not understand your decisions, yet your soul has a gentle confirmation that you are walking the right path. My son said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. My peace is not a thin layer of paint covering fear, but the bedrock beneath your feet. It does not depend on applause. It does not vanish with bad news, and it cannot be shaken by the storms out there, for it is placed in me, the one who never errs in his ways." Remember the story of Tabitha, also known as Dorcas. In the city of Joppa, she did not sit on a throne. She did not lead an army. She did not do what the world calls great. She merely did good deeds in silence, making clothes for the widows, caring for the weak with faithful hands. When she passed away, those she had helped stood weeping, holding out the garments she had made as testaments of her love. You see, a life of obedience in small things can leave a much deeper mark than grand speeches. And when Peter prayed, I brought her back to life, as a sign that works done in love are not buried in oblivion. It is the same with you. There are spiritual garments you have woven with patience, intercession, forgiveness, and kindness. And at the right time, I will show you how they have covered, warmed, and uplifted so many. Therefore, when you look back on the journey you have traveled, do not merely remember the pain. Recognize my hand that has joined every fragmented piece into a path of wisdom. The season of trial has taught you discernment. The season of waiting has taught you perseverance. The season of loneliness has taught you to hear my voice more clearly. And the season of loss has taught you not to store your treasures where moths can destroy. Every stretch of road that seemed winding was actually leading you to this exact moment. When my people stood before the Red Sea, they only saw water ahead and the enemy behind, but I saw the path at the bottom of the sea that had yet to be revealed. Likewise, there are things you once called dead ends that I am using to open a way only my power can create. When you look back, you will not just say, "I overcame," but rather, "The Father guided me every step." Listen, my child, stepping into this new season, what I place within you will no longer remain solely in the secret place between you and me. The waters that have been dug deep in your soul will begin to flow out, touching your home, your work, the people you meet, and the places you are present. The reminders, signs, illumination, and peace you receive will become a source of blessing for others, not because you try to create influence, but because true life cannot be kept hidden forever. My son said, "Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them." When I fill you, you will not only have your thirst quenched, you will become a stream of water for the dry lands around you. A right word you speak at the right time could save someone from despair. An upright decision of yours could change the course of an environment. Your peaceful presence could calm a room full of fear. Even so, let me remind you that true overflowing must be sustained by remaining. A branch does not bear fruit by detaching itself from the vine to prove its strength. It bears fruit by remaining in the vine. If you want to continue carrying blessings, continue to stay near me. If you want your words to have life, let your lips be purified in my presence. If you want your influence to remain unmixed with pride, kneel often in the secret place. Do not let external results draw you away from the internal source. I do not seek those who burn brightly for only one season and then fade away because they forgot the oil. I seek hearts that know how to keep their lamps burning through intimacy, who know how to return to me before stepping out to others. My beloved child, new signs will continue to come, for I am still leading you. Some signs will comfort, some will awaken, some will open the way, and some will tell you to stop, wait, or change direction. Do not fear the new, nor cling so tightly to the old that your hands are no longer empty to receive what I am giving. Walk with the mindset of a pilgrim, grateful for where you have been, faithful where you stand, and ready for where I am about to lead. My word is a lamp to your feet, not always illuminating the entire long road ahead the way you want, but always enough for you to take the next step in faith. As you obey, step by step, the light will reveal each further stretch, and you will see that my path has never lacked wisdom. So rejoice in the fruits I let you see, but rejoice in awe and gratitude. Let them strengthen your faith, rather than making you complacent. Let them remind you that I am faithful, rather than making you forget that you still need me every hour. What has blossomed today is proof that I was with you in the season of sowing. What still lies beneath the soil is an invitation for you to continue trusting in the season of waiting. I am the Father who leads you from the first sign to the final fruit, from the silent tear to the song of joy, from small obedience to an influence greater than you know. Step forward, my child, with a peaceful heart, watchful eyes, and a humble spirit. For what I sow in you will not stop with you, it will grow, cast its shade, yield new seeds, and become a testimony that my hand is still quietly crafting beautiful things through an obedient heart. My beloved child, whenever I place anything into your hands, whether it be resources, opportunities, time, gifts, or precious relationships, remember that they are not given for you to keep for yourself alone. Everything that comes from me carries within it a seed of purpose. If you view a blessing merely as a thing to be consumed, it will shrink in your hands. But if you view it as a seed to sow into righteousness, It will bear fruit far beyond what you can measure. My word is spoken. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. True wealth does not lie in the quantity you possess, but in whether your heart knows how to place it under my guidance. A single coin used in wisdom can open a river of blessings. An opportunity placed right can uplift many lives. A relationship guarded in love can become a bridge, bringing others closer to the light. I do not want you to fear abundance, but neither do I want you to be ruled by it. Some receive much and then let their hearts become infatuated with possession, thinking the more they accumulate, the safer they are. But a full storehouse cannot replace a peaceful soul. Some use blessings to build monuments for themselves, and eventually, the very things they hold become their chains. Remember the words of my son, you cannot serve both God and money. I give you wisdom to distinguish between stewardship and greed, between preparation and fear, between enjoying blessings with gratitude and spending out of emptiness. When you make me the Lord of all you have, what is in your hands is no longer a burden causing you anxiety, but becomes an instrument for my love to flow through your life. A time will come when your faithfulness is tested more deeply. While you are managing small things, the lesson may be quiet, but when I expand what is entrusted to you, the choices will become clearer, and inner motives will be exposed to the light. You will face crossroads where one path promises quick benefits, but draws you away from integrity, while the other demands patience and sacrifice, but keeps you in my will. You will have to choose between what is easy and what is right, between the praise of men and my approval, between an alluring shortcut and the narrow road leading to life. I do not test you to make you fall, but to make your foundation firmer, so you may clearly see which parts of your heart still need healing, which parts need purifying, and which parts need to be anchored more deeply in me. Remember the faithful steward in the parable my son told. There were servants given different talents, no one receiving the same as another, but each had to answer for how they used what was given. The faithful one did not bury his share in the ground out of fear, but put what he received to work. And the master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. You see, I do not measure you by whether you are like others. I look at how you manage the portion I have placed specifically in your hands. A small thing offered in obedience can pave the way for something greater. But the greater thing does not come to make you proud. It comes so you may serve more deeply, love more broadly, and reflect my heart more clearly. My beloved, abundance in my kingdom is not like a stagnant pool, growing clearer the more it is kept. It is like a river, bringing life the more it flows. When you know how to give, you are declaring that your source is not found in your reserves, but in me, the one who never runs dry. Giving is not just about imparting material things. Sometimes it is giving time to the lonely, a word of encouragement to the one about to give up, forgiveness to someone unworthy in your eyes, or an opportunity to someone no one has ever believed in. My word says, it is more blessed to give than to receive. When you open your hands in wisdom and love, I do not leave you empty. I enlarge your heart to hold greater joy, and I make your life a conduit where blessings are not bottlenecked within you. I want you to remember the widow at Zarephath in the time of Elijah. She had only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug, just enough to make a final meal for herself and her son. But when I sent the prophet to her, she obeyed in a circumstance that seemed absurd to human reasoning. She surrendered that meager portion in faith, and the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry until the day I sent rain back upon the land. You see, I do not seek offerings from a place of prideful surplus, but from a heart of trust. When you place into my hands what seems so small, I can make it enough to sustain not only today, but the long days ahead. Generosity, born of faith, will open doors for you to experience my faithfulness in a profound way. However, I know you also have weary days. Stewarding what I entrust is not always easy. Sometimes responsibility feels like an overly heavy coat on your shoulders. Sometimes the expectations around you stretch your mind. Sometimes you fear you will make a mistake. Fear you lack wisdom. A fear you do not have enough strength to hold what I have placed in your hands. But my child, I do not call you into stewardship only to leave you alone amidst the pressure. My word invites you. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. You do not need to carry the burden the way those without a father do. Come to me in prayer. Lay every decision, every worry, every responsibility before me, and I will give you peace that transcends all understanding, guarding your heart and your mind. When your feet are weak, I will give strength when your mind is tangled. I will give clarity when your heart sinks. I will remind you why you started, but you must learn the rhythm of dependence. Do not wait until you are exhausted to come to me. Do not wait for the oil jar to run dry to remember that I am the source. Stay close to me every day. For a steward in the kingdom does not just need skills, but needs presence, not just plans, but wisdom from above, not just resources, but a pure heart to use those resources rightfully. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, and I will give generously to those who seek me with a sincere heart. So stand firm, my child. Do not let the winds of circumstance make you doubt where I have placed you. Do not let pressure cause you to compromise principles. Do not let abundance make you forget humility, nor let trials make you forget the promise. I have placed you in the right season, the right position, the right task, not because you are perfect, but because I know what I am building within you. What I have started, I will bring to completion. When you are faithful in the small things, I will teach you to manage the great. When you are generous with what you have, I will keep the river of blessings flowing. When you put me above all interests, I will make your life a living testimony. Then, those who see the transformation in you will not merely praise your skill or strength, but will recognize that the Father's hand has guided, uplifted, and caused what was entrusted to your hands to bear fruit for an unshakable kingdom. My beloved child, as you draw near to the place I promised, you must be more vigilant than in the early days of your departure. For some of the fiercest battles do not happen at the beginning, but when you are about to cross the final finish line. The enemy does not always appear with a terrifying roar. Often, he comes with a gentle invitation, a seemingly wise excuse, a delay cloaked as caution, or a detour that looks more pleasant than the path of obedience. He will whisper that you are tired, that waiting a little longer is fine, that letting go now would be easier, that you do not need to remain so earnest can sing. But my child, remember what I said. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. I do not warn you to make you afraid, but so you will not trade away the harvest just because of last-minute weariness. Do not let deceitful voices take from your hands what I have nurtured through so many seasons of tears, prayer, and faithfulness. There are times you think you are standing still, but in the hidden depths, I am still causing your roots to grip tightly into the soil of the promise. Your eyes see the silent ground, but a seed is not dead simply because it has not sprouted. Your heart may not yet see the results, but the prayers you uttered in the night, the times you chose integrity when no one knew, the steps of obedience unrecorded by the world, all of these are preserved before me. My word reminds you that God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him. You have sown many things in secret, and I will not let a single seed of obedience be buried in vain. What you call insignificant, I can use as a foundation stone for a structure greater than your vision. Let faith lead the way for you, and do not hand the steering wheel over to your emotions. Emotions are like the surface of the water, changing color with the sky, peaceful today. Stormy tomorrow, full of hope today. Tomorrow, perhaps weighed down by a word, a piece of news, or a delay. But faith roots itself in me, the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. When my word says, the righteous will live by faith, it means you do not wait for all outward signs to be favorable before stepping. You step because you know the Father has called. Sometimes, you will have to keep going when your eyes do not yet see immediate results. Pray when your heart does not feel strong, and keep promises when circumstances have yet to confirm them. That is where the one who merely hears the word is separated from the one who lives by the word. One is moved for a moment. The other clings to the truth until the truth bears fruit. I want you to remember Nehemiah when the wall of Jerusalem was nearing completion. The work had reached a critical point. The enemies no longer merely mocked from afar, but sought to draw him down to the plain of Ono to distract him. They sent invitations multiple times, sounding like ordinary meetings. But inside lay a trap to delay the work I had assigned. Nehemiah replied, I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. You see, when you are close to completing your part, not every invitation is an opportunity. Not every urging comes from me, and not every meeting requires your attendance. There are things you must decline, not out of pride, but because you have recognized that what I placed in your hands is holy. Guard the wall you are building. Do not leave your post just to answer every sideline call. In the coming days, I will set before you opportunities to be courageous. But do not think courage only appears in grand acts before a crowd. Sometimes courage is staying silent in the face of provocation, choosing honesty in a small number, maintaining a pure heart when no one is checking, continuing to love when an old wound makes you want to close up, taking one more step when your body and mind both want to stop. My word says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Do not trivialize the secret decisions between you and me, for it is right there that the foundation of spiritual authority is built. I do not entrust great things to those who despise the small. I elevate the one who values every single seed of obedience. When I call you to step out, I do not just change where you stand, I also change how you carry yourself. There are layers of clothing you once wore for self-protection, the cloak of doubt, the cloak of defensiveness, the cloak of self-reliance, the cloak of the fear of being hurt again. You thought they kept you safe, but in truth, they make your footsteps heavy and your heart dull to my voice. I want to strip off from you the burdens that do not belong to the covenant, so you can walk lighter, purer, freer. My word says, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. You cannot run the full race with old chains on your feet. Let me take them off, not by force, but through healing love. I do not want your heart to become hard just because it was once broken. I want it to be soft enough to hear me, yet strong enough not to be blown off course by the storms. Softness in me is not weakness. It is strength that has been purified from bitterness. A soft heart can weep without collapsing, forgive without losing wisdom, love without returning to old chains, and listen while still discerning. When you let me touch the places that were wounded, I will not merely bandage the surface. I will teach you to live no longer controlled by what happened, You will walk through the places that once made you afraid, not because the memories have completely vanished, but because their power has been stripped away under my light. And when you feel lonely, do not hastily call it abandonment. There are silent spaces I allow not to punish you, but to draw you into the deeper room of intimacy. The world is full of noise that can make you forget the sound of your own soul. Yet in the quiet place, you will hear more clearly my voice calling your name. Elijah once looked for me in the great wind, in the earthquake, in the fire. But then he recognized me in the gentle whisper. It is the same with you. There are revelations that do not come amidst the crowd. There are strategies that are not born in a rush. There are words of comfort only heard when you sit with me long enough. The quiet place is not a void. It is a banquet table I have set for you in the secret place. Therefore, my beloved, keep walking, but walk with awake ears and a heart anchored in me. Do not turn back just because you are tired. Do not change course just because there is an easier path. Do not lower your standards just because the victory is not yet visible. I was with you in the early days. I am still with you as you near the finish line, and I will be with you when the promise blooms. Keep your eyes looking forward. As it is written, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. I press on toward the goal. What I have begun in you is not left unfinished in my hands. Obey in the small things. Stand firm in the hour of weariness. Listen in the quiet place. And trust me more than shifting emotions. Then you will see that my light not only leads you through the darkness, but also makes you a lamp for those who need the courage to keep walking. Understand that a new harvest never springs up in a field where you dare not sow. There are promises I have placed in you like holy seeds. But if you keep holding them in your hands for fear of dry soil, scorching sun, or that others might not understand, then you will only have the seeds and no harvest. I do not call you to bury your gifts in excessive caution, nor do I want you to reject the responsibilities I entrust in the name of humility. Remember my word. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11:4. Therefore, do not wait for everything to be perfect before you obey. Many doors only open when your feet touch the threshold. Many rivers only part when you dare step into the water. I am teaching you that faith is not the absence of fear, but obedience that keeps walking even when the heart trembles. Before you even knew how to call your own name, I knew you with an everlasting love. You are not a soul accidentally drifting through history, nor are you a forgotten sigh among humanity. When you were woven together in secret, I saw your form, as it is written, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book. Psalm 139:16. Therefore, do not let years of failure define you. Do not let the mockery of the world frame your future. And do not let painful memories become the coat you wear every day. The things you thought were mere losses, I have used to forge depth. The stretches of road you thought were delays, I have used to protect you from things that had not yet come to their proper time. You see tears, but I see growth. You see a pause, but I see roots digging deep into the earth. Listen, my child. Remember Isaac in the year of famine, when the surrounding lands were barren, when human reason might have advised him to retreat, hold back, and defend. He still sowed in that land according to my guidance. And Scripture records, Isaac planted crops in that land and the same year reaped 100-fold. Because the Lord blessed him, Genesis 26:12. You see, my harvest is not limited by external circumstances. I do not need soil favorable to human eyes to bring forth a miracle. I only need a heart that listens and hands that dare to sow. You may look around and see scarcity, see few opportunities, see others advancing further, and feel that you yourself are inadequate. But I declare to you, where others call it dry ground, I can turn it into a field of blessing. Where you once wanted to leave out of weariness, I can cause 100 heads of grain to sprout. Therefore, do not return to the old shadow just because it is familiar. There are relationships that once comforted you but now pull you away from growth. There are habits that helped you survive the season of hurt but are no longer suited for the season of restoration. There are thoughts you call cautious that are actually fear disguised. I do not accuse you, I am unlocking your chains. My word reminds you, perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4:18. You do not need to bring a slave's mentality into the land of freedom. If I have opened the door before you, do not stand endlessly behind just to look back at what once caused you pain. Step through, but step through with a clean heart, with clear eyes, and with a discerning soul. For not every calling comes from me, and not every shiny opportunity is a blessing. My beloved child, there will be times when you step out and others will not understand. Some will want you to remain your old self because they are used to seeing you small. Some will doubt when I lift you up because they only remember the days you fell. But do not argue to prove what I am doing. A tree does not need to shout that it is growing. When the season comes, the fruit will testify for itself. Let your faithfulness answer in place of the noise. Let your peace speak louder than words of judgment. When your heart wavers, remember my word, so do not fear. For I am with you, do not be dismayed. For I am your God. I will strengthen you. Isaiah 41:10. I do not tell you to step out of your comfort zone only to abandon you in the wilderness. I lead you out to bring you into greater spaciousness, like a father holding his child's hand across an unfamiliar road. Now, lift up your eyes. The old season taught you the lessons you needed to learn, but it has no right to hold you prisoner. The tears you sowed will not fall in vain. For my promise stands. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. Prepare your heart for the things I am about to do, not with haste, but with awake obedience. Clean out the room within. Forgive what needs to be forgiven. Release what needs to be released. And walk with me with open hands. I am calling you to a new land of faith, where you no longer live on the memory of old miracles, but walk in the fresh flow of today's grace. You are not alone. I am the one who goes before you, walks with you, and guards behind you. Come out of the narrow place, my beloved child, for the new harvest is prepared, and I will teach you how to step into it with courage, holiness, and a joy that no one can take away.